brace yourselves for one hell of a week. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. It is a absolute crazy week for all sorts of entertainment, and we're wasting no time. We're diving in. Let's go. So first up, I want to hit you with 3 Shang Tsung fireballs for this triple threat of game announcements this week. Not really an announcement, more of a release. I apologize, but these 3 game releases. First up, we got Mortal Kombat 11. Don, why don't you show a fatality?
Cut. Reset.
Deadly uppercut, take 2.
Action. Cut.
Who hired this guy? What the fuck?
You know what, Don? Show one more fatality. They never get old. We've been doing fatalities since the 90s, and Mortal Kombat is still ripping people's heads off. It feels good. Then, after you do a couple fatalities, hop in to the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Fate of Atlantis DLC. Extremely pumped for this DLC. We're getting franchise lore on this one, talking about the first civilization, hunting some mythical beasts. Extremely pumped. And lastly, Days Gone releases the end of the week. I've already played it. I can't talk about it. Moving on. Next up, the time has come for the series finale of Gotham.
There's a war coming, a terrible war. There will be chaos.
Bloodworth, I had to get you in here for this segment. Gotham spoilers, obviously. We're talking about the penultimate episode that just went down. How are you feeling?
It's interesting because I feel like, okay, like going into the series, right, like this whole idea of its like origin stories and all this and back in the day or whatever, but at the same time it was like, no, this is happening kind of modern times. And then after a while I felt like, you know what, this is just whatever, it's not an origin story. Like,
yeah, it's its own
villains
universe.
are coming in from wherever. And now like we get towards the end and like, boom, it's gonna be an origin story again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I was convinced that there was never gonna be a Batman at some point. Like,
Yeah, absolutely insane. There were so many emotional moments in this episode. Obviously, you got one of the best Batman lines of all time. I need to tell Jones this line. It's when Bruce is sitting next to Selina, and she's like, Bruce, I'll always be there for you, no matter what. And he looks at her and he says, that's what my parents told me. Ooh! Ooh! What a Batman line! Ooh! Hurts! And then Commissioner Gordon.
oh yeah.
Did you get the feels there, Bloodworth? Did you get the feels
Yeah,
when
it was
they
good to finally see it, because again, it was like one of those things where like early on, it's like, when is this? Is it? Nope, not yet. He's not a commissioner. Yeah, so, but there are definitely some holes. Some holes you can
always, it's Gotham.
drive a submarine through. Because remember, like, Riddler was gonna take off, and then he comes back and he's like, you know what, Penguin, I can't do it without you.
Yeah.
We gotta have 2 people to drive the submarine.
Yeah.
And then like Lady Al Ghul just like
Yeah.
takes off. Like who's driving this up?
Good point.
I don't know.
What about when Penguin and Riddler had the knives to each other's backs?
Oh yeah,
It
that was good. That was good.
Such a good scene. Lastly, what do you want to see in the finale? What are your hopes and dreams?
Ooh, that's tough.
Do you know any spoilers?
No.
I know some things, Blood.
You know some things?
I
I
unfortunately
mean,
know some.
I did watch like the trailer for next episode ever. You know, you kind of see like the armor a little bit. You know, you see that there's a Batman, but yeah, it's odd because other than like Batman actually appearing, there doesn't seem to be any real reason. Oh, you know what? You know the other thing that was dumb. The thing on Bane where all the bats came after him.
Dude, I loved that! What? Oh, Bloodworth, no! Dude, that was the best! Such a great way of, like, having the spirit of Batman before Batman.
Sure.
And that's what I wanted to say is, like, I would have been happy if that had been the season finale, or the series finale. And I'm treating kind of
Right.
the real
Yeah.
finale as, like, an epilogue type thing. But that last episode, we
And I
just
think
saw,
that's the thing. I think that's why I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
really know what to think of this, because it is sort of like, let's just settle into, all right, we kind of know the story from here kind of idea, yeah.
Totally. Bane with a rocket launcher. Blowing holes in walls. 10 out of 10. So Gotham. Thank you, Bloodworth, for joining me on that hype fest for Gotham. But, you know, so I'm watching, eventually I'm going to be watching the Gotham series finale Thursday night. And then what am I going to do? What are many of you going to do? It's time for the endgame. Avengers Endgame, I don't even want to talk about it, allies. I don't even want to really even go there right now because we're mere like hours away from this. We will be back next week talking about the Endgame. I can't breathe right now. Like, I'm getting choked up thinking about it. The 11-year journey coming to an end. It's going down. It's happening. I've been full media blackout. I've seen like 3 thumbnail images total for this movie of like Hawkeye and his cool hair. That's it. Endgame, let's go. And if we're still breathing after the end of all of that madness, we get to cool off with the Night King. The Night King cometh, Game of Thrones, in what has set up to be one of the biggest battles in the history of televised television. Game of Thrones, it's really scary, you know. This is the week leading up to this episode where all I'm really thinking about is who's gonna make it out alive. Who's gonna live, who's gonna die, because bodies are gonna drop on Sunday. Bodies will drop, plot armor will be poise broke. Las Vegas odds. I want to know the Vegas odds on certain characters' fates. I'm putting 10 to 1. The White Walkers lose. So that's it for the episode. It's out of control. When can we stop and breathe? When can we breathe? We've got just an embarrassment of riches with video games, DLC for video games that came out last year, big budget movies, series, not even season, series finales of shows that we've been on a journey for 5 years. It's just overwhelming. It's too much. Let me know how you're handling it in the comments below. I've been sick a couple times, so I haven't been able to address your comments from these episodes. I do apologize, but next week, you know, I got sick twice in a row. I didn't even know that could happen. But now I'm back. I've been pumping the venom into me, Bane style. Back, man. I'm out of control. It's too much. I gotta go. I need to go to sleep so I can wake up one day closer to the end game. Let's go. Just shut it off, Don. Shut it off. Let's go.